Coming up in A-List Lifestyle, the top 5 celebrity chefs on social media. But first, an exclusive interview with Melanie Chisholm, aka Sporty Spice. If you had to name one pop group that totally dominated the global charts in the late 1990s, then the British music phenomenon better known as the Spice Girls would certainly come up. We had an exclusive interview with former Sporty Spice Melanie C, and talked about her life, her work, and of course how she dealt with the effects of the measures due to the coronavirus in the first part of 2020.
I've kind of gone through lots of different emotions. I think like everybody, at first it was a bit of a novelty, and because I do tend to travel so much with my work, I thought it's actually quite nice to have this opportunity to be at home and to wake up with my daughter every day and to say goodnight to her every night. But now I've got to the point, especially with releasing new music, I'm frustrated, I want to travel, I want to get out there, I want to perform for people. So I'm looking forward to when we can get back to some kind of normality.
And while reflecting on being in self-isolation, Mel found out a thing or two about herself.
I learned that I can be really lazy. I'm really good at being lazy. I had big plans. I was going to learn to play the piano. I was going to learn the language. None of that's happened. And mostly because I've been so busy, and I think I've had work to do, but also I've had children at home all day, so we've been homeschooling and eating and fighting and making up, and it's just been, every day. At the end of every day, I'm like, another one down.
Their infectious dance songs turned the Spice Girls into one of the most successful girl bands of all time, with record sales hitting more than 55 million worldwide. After 9 UK #1 singles and 2 #1 albums, followed by a third record called Forever, the girls decided to go their separate ways. Then, in the summer of 2019, the Spice Girls were together again for a brief moment to do one last tour. Melanie couldn't help but notice a few similarities, as well as some differences between then and now.
There has been so many changes, obviously in the world, and I think being on stage with the girls has never really changed. The one thing that changed for me last year, I suppose we enjoyed it more, we felt much more present and appreciative because we've had time away and we've come back to it. We know how special it is. That was an opportunity to play stadiums in the UK last year. That was an opportunity that may never have happened. So we just grabbed that opportunity with both hands. And our audiences now, back in the 90s, they were very young, We've always had different ages, but predominantly we had young female fans. And now they're all grown up. So the energy and the nostalgia was like so heightened. It was just an incredible experience.
While on tour again with the girls, it turned out Sporty Spice hadn't lost any of her sparkling energy.
I look at a performance like an athletic event. I was playing stadiums, it may never happen again, and I'm not at 20 anymore, so I really want to look after myself. I wanted to get on that stage and feel like uber sporty, like a superhero. So I went into quite an intense training program. I had a sports nutritionist and I ate really well. I didn't drink any alcohol for 6 months. And I just wanted to be my absolute prime. So that was really fun. I was pleased with the results. It was hard work, but it paid off.
We were also wondering if there were any guilty pleasures that Mel likes to indulge in, being an A-list superstar and all. And it turned out she just learned a casual yet quite profound lesson about having some of those.
I did this online quiz a few weeks ago with Richard E. Grant, and I haven't seen him for such a long time. Obviously, he was our manager in Spice World the movie, and it was so lovely to kind of catch up with him. And we talked about guilty pleasures, and he said when he turned 60, he gave up guilt. So there's no such thing as a guilty pleasure, it's just pleasure, it's all pleasure.
Well, now she had us curious about what that specific pleasure would be.
So my pleasurable pleasures, I think if I'm gonna treat myself, it's definitely fries and mayonnaise.
Well, if that isn't living on the wild side, we don't know what is. Either way, we were happy to see that everything was perfectly fine with this beautiful A-list superstar. So here's hoping Mel will rock our world with her amazing music and super cool performances for many years to come.